Good afternoon, students. Thank you very much for attending this tutorial course. And I think that you will listen very careful and take the main important that you need for the August examination. It is very much important that you listen careful and make sure that all the information provided here is important, and make sure that at the end of the examination you get good result that you deserve. So, welcome to School Leadership and Management B. I hope and trust that you completed School Leadership and Management A and you learned a lot in that subject, like how you can solve the conflicts in the school, in your classroom, and also in the environment of teaching and learning, and how can you change a school from poor performance to the school of excellency. So you learned most of these skills and knowledge in School Leadership and Management A. So this is an extension, but you need that knowledge for you to understand this subject better. So this subject, School Leadership and Management, are for two courses here. For those who are doing Bachelor of Education Honors degree, they are now in year 2 and semester 2. And also, this subject being done by students doing Bachelor of Education in senior primary, they are now in year 4 and now semester 2. So all of you, you will write common question paper. So though some of the outcome might differ in your study guides, but I made sure that the learning outcome, which are the same for those who are studying towards Bachelor of Education in honors degree and the Bachelor of Education in senior primary, the learning outcome which are common. So I took those learning outcomes and compiled a question paper, so you don't need to worry about it. So if you like, for example, yes, if you like to read about maybe the study guide for those who are doing honors degree, yes, you can read. And also maybe if you are honors degree student and you would like maybe to look at the study guide for in senior primary, yes, also you can do it. So they somehow they have the same information. That's why we combine it. So actually the examination will have 120 marks. So I know that the assignment also, you received the assignment with 120 marks, isn't it? So that's correct. The examination also will have 120 marks. But it will depend now, so we have to convert, it will depend how many, the marks that you obtain from 120. For example, if you obtain 60 out of 120, so we convert that into percentage. That's obviously 50%, because 60 out of 120 is 50%, half mark, okay? That is, you will get a 50%. The same way for the assignment, you wrote assignment, the marks up to 120 marks. And I'm sure now by now you received your CA mark, your semester mark for you to qualify for the examination. So for example, if you obtained 60 out of 120, you now your semester mark is 50%. So which means you need 50% again in the examination. In other words, you need 60% out of 120 for you to have 50%, which means now 50% from the semester mark and 50% from the examination. So then you will get about 50 in overall mark. So here is an example of how calculation have been done, because I know that most of the students, they ask and they don't understand how marks are being calculated. So for example, continuous assessment consists of what? 40%. And examination is 60%. So now your final mark, the overall mark for the subject, pass or fail, it will be CA, okay? It will be now like CA plus exam. Okay, so now the CA is what? 40%. And exam is 6%. So obviously it will be, let me just put it in the other way here. Also start over.
Take a new paper.
Let me just take a new one so that you can see well. So it will work like that. CA is 40%. Then exam is 60%, which means CA plus exam, now it will be 100%, because 40 plus 60 is 100%. I'm sure? Yes, I'm sure that you did your mathematics. Okay, your arithmetic mathematics, so I think this is the first course you did, in your first year. So now, this is how it works now. So let's say, maybe in your assignment, let's say S, okay? Yes, in your assignment, maybe you got 60 out of 120. Okay? This is 50%. And then in the exam, you got also 60 out of 120. This is what? 50%. See it? So now how do we arrive now here? So which means that your CA is 40%, which means we have to convert this into 40. Okay, this your percentage into 40 to be out of 40. So which means now it will be 50 times 0.4. Okay, and this is, you know that it is 20 marks. So this you will get about 20 out of 40 now. And then this is your CA and exam. You got also 50, which should be 60%, but you convert it, this is 0.6, which means 30. Okay, which means you get this 20 out of 40, and here 30 out of 60. So now your final mark, okay, your final mark will be 20 plus 30 is equal to 50. So I think it's clear there. You understand? The CA 40%, exam 60%. So now for the overall mark is exam plus CA, which is 100%. Now example, maybe you wrote your assignment and then you got 60 out of 120. So we convert this 60 into percentage, which means 60 out of 120 is what? 50%. And exam also you wrote, maybe you will write exam, in the August, and then you will score, let me say, 60% out of 120. So this you will get, we convert this 6 into percentage, we got 50. Okay, you got 50%. But now we talk about 40%, okay? So which means we convert this into this form, okay, out of 40. It means that 50 times 0.4 is 20, and also here 50 times 0.6, which means this is just about 60% is 0. You know that 60 divided by 100 is 0.6, and 40 divided by 100 is 0.4. Okay, so that's how it works now. Then you will get 50 times 0, and you get 20, and 50 times 0.6 is you will get 30. So now from there you add 20 plus 30 is 50. So on your report card or on your result, it will be written 50, which means a pass. So this is how now to work. So, and also this procedure is also explained in your study guides, so but not clearly. So this, for example, this converting, like to convert into 40, okay? To convert it into 40 and convert into 60 is not clearly shown the calculation. So the calculation of conversion is here. So this is 50% of your assignment and 50% of your exam. So, but we have to convert it into respective CA, which is 40%, and exam, which is 6%. So, which means here 50, we multiplied by 0.4, okay? Into 40, we convert it into 40 now. And this is 50 again, we convert it into 60. So how we must be 50 times 0.6, which means 30. So 20 plus 30 is 50. So that is your final mark. So this is how it's going to be to work in this subject. So I hope that you understand it, for you to have that confidence that how you should be studying for you to get good mark in August examination. So now let's just continue with our presentation. So there's my number and my name. So whatever questions after this, you can you can probably at the end of the slide of the presentation, there's my email, so you will be able to email me and whatever question that you want to ask. So we are just going to look at on these few items: exam preparation, course learning outcome, and examples of exam question, or just samples. So let's just highlight on the school leadership and management. So when we talk about school leadership and management, we talk about how leaders should manage the school to a better way that the school should obtain good result. Or school leadership and management, and also we look at in many factors like how we should manage the classroom management, how we should collaborate the educators with the community, parents, and with the learners. But the main overall purpose is for a Namibian child to get a better education, for a Namibian child to get a good information for his or her future. So without wasting time, let's just look at exam preparation. So I think that you wrote exam for school leadership and management A, and I also provided the same information how you should study. So here is just in highlights that the main things that you must always practice the questions in the study guide. So the study guide is clearly designed that there are some activities that you need to know, so for you to master the unit and the content given to you. And also you must look at past question papers, previous question papers. They are on your student portal, or if you don't have it, you can ask also IOL Center for you to provide you with the materials that you need. And also you can ask some questions where you don't understand, or email me as your tutor for this subject. So I will be able to help you and to make sure that you pass this subject. I know that most of you who did school leadership management A, yes, did well. I thank you very much that you did the examination, yes, was good, and your result was perfect. And I wish that you will do the same for school leadership and management B. So start studying now, not like maybe 1 week or 2 days towards exam, then you start reading. Please prepare yourself in advance so that you can get information clearly and get better result at the end of the examination. So this subject consists of 8 units. Yes, there are 8 units. This subject consists of 8 units. I know that in school leadership A you did 10 units, but in this subject you will do 8 units. So Unit 1 is about issue of school communication. Okay, you know that in school leadership, there should be communication. How you should communicate as you are a principal. So how you should communicate with your teachers, how you should communicate with the principal, how you should communicate with the learners. So, and here you will learn a communication process. And for example, linear communication, okay? How you should communicate it. Also, you know that a communication consists of the sender, the message, then the receiver, all that. And also you must know those diagrams, okay? How information flow from the sender, okay, to a receiver. And also we know the medium of communication, okay? The medium, which means the media in which for example, there are many different media. For example, the newspaper is one of the media, the radio is one of the media, okay, in which information travel from one place to another, okay? Which means we can say yes, communication is the way in which information travel from one place to another, but it clearly can depend that yes, is how two people communicate, okay, between two people, the sender to a receiver, and in between there should be a medium in which communication should go through. And also we have modern type of medium like a telephone, okay, you use it for communication, and also a newspaper is one of the medium, okay, and also a telephone, and also an email. Most of those are the way in which people communicate. So in this unit, you will learn all those methods of communication and how communication can take properly. I mean, how you should communicate on an organization. Okay, there's official, the informal communication, the formal communication, and all those. Know what's formal communication, informal communication, and official communication, and so on. And also the negotiation process in Unit 2, yes, you will learn how you should negotiate, because as a leader you should learn on how to negotiate. So, and also in Unit 3, you learn about the relationship in schools. So how you should introduce good relationship in schools, because good relationship, for example, if a teacher has good relationship with learners, what's the end result? So if the principal has good relationship with the teachers, what is the end result? So if the school environment, let's say all the educators has good relationship with the communities, what are the end result? So these are the main things that you also consist of in Unit 3. And Unit 4, you will learn about the guideline and the process of recruiting and developing school staffs. So as you are a school manager or school educator or the principal, so you will learn tactics. How are you going to recruit new staff for your school? So you have to, there are process there, okay? You advertise the post, you call the interview, and all those process is there. So you look at the skills, the qualifications, and so on. So you learn in this unit about all those informations, and please focus on those recruitment process and how can this develop a school. And also issue of effective school administration. So how you should administer the school in a such way that the result can be better, in a such way that the school is manageable, or in such a way that the school is environment where education is taking place. And also you learn Unit 6, efficient financial management of schools. And here you learn as a manager or a teacher how you should raise funds for the school, because the school needs funds for you to make photocopies, for you to make papers for the exam or test or continuous assessment. And all this you learn in this unity. And also Unit 7, evaluating instruction and leadership and management of the principal, and also you learn different types of leadership skills, okay, how you should manage the school and the type of power that is needed. And also way of successful involving in the communities. So in here, so how you should work with the community. So these are the main things that you need to know. So, but these are I just give the units. There are 8 units, and you have to start out of it. And under that unit, they are learning outcomes. For example, if they know, yes, unit 1, you should know, describe communications. So you should know what is communication, and name different type of communications, yes. So those are learning outcomes. At the end of that unity, what you should know. Okay, negotiation process, for example, describe the negotiation process. Why is negotiation needed? And also, for example, what factors that motivate negotiation, that lead to school to have negotiations? Okay, if you know that, what factors that lead school to have negotiation? So those are learning outcomes. You should know those factors. Okay? So these are just an example, and also I think they are also information management system. Yes, you also know that. For example, the HR, why is human resources management needed in school, and why it is so important. So you have to motivate that. No, you must also know that such information. Okay, the importance of human resources management in schools. Okay, and all that to, you know, is very to identify the skills, to make sure that the educators are developing, to make sure that the educators are up to date with maybe the modern teaching teaching strategy and so on. So you also know those. So in the overall things, I just want you that read all the units. So I'm not specifically which that the question only unit 1 or unit 2, but please read all the units. And also this is just sample of exam questions. For example, explain why school use computerized information system. So you know that management information system, okay, you know that this is related to computer, how the information can be managed in schools. Okay, so why school use computer? Why should we need? Because, you know, to make our work easier. Okay, that's one of the reasons, and should explain how can computer make our work easier. So and also you must also look at on the marks allocation, and you must write and convince the tutor that you know the main information, and provide the content, the main, and also correspond to the. You must answer the question based on the verbs explain, or maybe describe, and so on. So, and also propose a strategic way of promoting good relationship between schools and their communities. So these are also ways how you should come up, propose strategy ways. So maybe you will have meetings, okay, weekly meeting or monthly meeting with the community, and maybe you might invite the parents to come visit the school and attend the lessons and see how the teacher is teaching their kids. So that's also one of promoting your school with the community. And also you might make maybe at the end of the year, you know that, at end of the year, maybe you might invite some parents to attend some of those parties. You do maybe a closing semester party. Yes, invite them, and you might eat together and talk about the issues of the school. Or that's how you should promote the school, that the community should like the school and involve themselves into education of their children. Okay? Please know the components of management information systems. So please know that. Okay, the computer hardware, the computer software, the telecommunication parts, the network. So those are part of the management information system. And then explain them. Everything's there in your study guide. So that is end of our presentation, our tutorial. This is examination-based contact classes. So you are expected that in August you will write the exam. And please start, as I said from the beginning of this presentation, start studying now, not later. So this subject has 12 credits. Yeah, probably in 2 weeks or so you can finish reading the study guide and revise. So if you read well, so I don't think that the examination will be difficult for you. So you will pass it as you pass School Leadership and Management A. So you will still do the same for this subject. Thank you very much. There is my contact. That's my email, kahare.lucas@yahoo.com. And please familiarize yourself with the assessment procedure, the CA, and the exam. And make sure that if you have 50% for the CA, you make sure at least you must get 60 out of 120 or above. So I'm sure that you should aim even for 80%, 80 out of 120 or 90 out of 120. So when we convert that into percentage, you are able to get 70 or 80%. So I thank you very much and see you in the examination.